Hello everybody, this is the Excellent Anime Reviews, and now that we're done with the whole Beastars reviews, we now jump in straight to My Hero Academia, as today is when the first episode launched. So without further ado, and of course there will be spoilers ahead, let's talk about this first episode of My Hero, Season 5. So we start off the episode with a nice shot of the school as we see Kaminari and Kirishima talking about the incident. And whoa, hello there. You see that? That right there, she's best girl. But we're gonna get way into her later. But they're talking about everything that happened with Endeavor, because it literally picks off the next day after Endeavor beat the shit out of that Nomu. And as they're talking about it, Todoroki shows up, and naturally everyone, they're a little bit worried and concerned about him. They ask how Endeavor's doing. Todoroki says he's not in any real serious condition, and Mineta says, hey, Todoroki, I guess you can be proud of your dad. And the thing about that is it's weird because Todoroki actually says, yeah. He's like, yeah, I guess. And that's sort of a big thing, considering that he has always hated his father for the way that he treated his mother and himself. So that's a huge thing. Just him even saying, like, I guess, is a big thing. Eraserhead then walks into the class. He's ready to teach, saying that everyone in Class A, they need to take themselves more seriously since, everyone except for, Bakugo and Todoroki have their provisional licenses, and that things going forward are now going to be turned up a notch. So as Aizawa says that, suddenly the class starts to beep and red lights start appearing as a voice saying that hypothetical villains have infiltrated the school and that Class 1A is to report where the crime is being committed. And my god, she just looks even more beautiful in red, doesn't she? I mean, honestly, she really does. So as the heroes are getting ready, we get the whole spiel of, oh, this is Quirks and we live in a superhero society, blah, blah. The spiel we've heard a bajillion times. But something that was different was in the place where All Might is. All Might is now gone, and in his place is Endeavor. And I really did like that. It was just like a tiny little thing, but I really did enjoy how because now Endeavor is the #1 hero. So I just like that a lot. And this is the point where we get brand new theme song. And, it's pretty good. I think I'm going to grow to it. I've always been a fan of the OPs and the ending themes of this series. Except for Make My Story, I don't like that one. I really don't like it. But aside from that, we get Class 1A. They're briefing themselves about the situation. We get to see the recon squad of Jiro, Kojo, and Shoji using their powers to really assess the situation and what's going on. Momo then makes a rickshaw, and they're going to basically become a makeshift fire truck to, put out the flames, because there's obviously flames in this explosion, when Koji says that someone has been swept away in the river. Everyone, speeds on their way to the location, except for Bakugo, Kirishima, and Lightning Boy. I forgot his full superhero name, Kanamari. And Bakugo says, as he's dragging Kaminari, that, they're basically, hey, you know what, screw that, we're gonna go looking for these villains. So Class 1A gets over to the fire as Todoroki puts it out with, the relative of ease. And we see the best girl, Froppy. She's over at the water where she sees the person, that's being, taken away. And all of a sudden it turns out to be Togata, who is, his usual self. He's laughing and he's like, oh, I don't know how I got swept away in this water. What's gonna happen next? And he's actually floating away into the direction of a bridge, and that thing about that bridge is that it's falling apart. So Sugarman, which I love the name, by the way, I love it. Sugarman throws Froppy, and Tokiyami throws Mineta over to where Togata is. Mineta uses his balls. He uses his balls to keep the bridge from falling apart completely as best girl Froppy saves Togata. And I know, I've said it before, you shouldn't be surprised, I'm the biggest Froppy simp in the world, and I am not ashamed of that. As Ingenium is checking up on the villain update, there's an explosion behind him, and the other heroes are using their powers to stop the continuing fire, so does Todoroki, saying that he'll put it out for good. Suddenly, Hato comes out, and she's playing the role of the villain. But she's not alone, as Sun Eater is here as well, but then decides that he's going to leave. Hato is telling him that, he can't just leave, and he's got to do this at 100% Go Plus Ultra and play his part properly. Hato breaks the ice, that Todoroki set up completely, in just one shot. Hato completely destroys the ice that Todoroki had made, which somehow causes Togata to fall off the bridge once more, and it's up to Froppy and Mineta to save him. Deku asks the villain, playing the part of the hero, he's like, hey, what is it that you want? And Sun Eater, after taking a long pause, says, I want to go home. But he says that he isn't going to go home because Hato, not only will Hato get mad at him, but Mirio had asked Amajiki, had asked him to do whatever it takes to help these guys become proper heroes. In the midst of all this action, we completely forgot about John Cena's daughter, who helps in taking back Ashido, who had been captured by Hato, with the help of Sero and Momo. Ojiro, aka Tailman, takes on Sun Eater, but it's mainly as a distraction for Deku to come in and hug him and ask him to surrender, as, Deku says that he couldn't hit him. He says, I couldn't do it. And Sun Eater says that not following through can be fatal, as he kicks Deku with his chicken foot. He is about to lay the smackdown on Deku when flying off of a car is Kirishima. And Bakugo is also following suit, as he's also in the same car, as Kaminari is the one driving the car and powering it with his teeth. Bakugo comes in and wrecks Sun Eater as Class 1A celebrates their victory, as the PA system announces that the drill is over. Bakugo, although he's won, he gets all pissed, saying that Sun Eater went easy on him and that villains are his enemy, as he blows up Sun Eater, who says that he just should have gone home. Eraserhead and All Might are standing not that far from them, as Eraser says to bring Bakugo to the faculty lounge, and All Might has his hand in his head, noticeably a little disappointed in Bakugo. And this part of the episode ends with Deku saying that they'll be the greatest heroes after everyone has been completely wrecked by the blast of Bakugo. And technically that is where the episode ends, but not really, because we have a couple of cutscenes where we see the hospital building where Endeavor is resting from his fight, and we get to see even more of what happened, as it turns out that Dabi actually appeared after that fight. We then cut to Dabi, speaking of him, as he has a mysterious meetup with Hawks. And that is how the episode truly ends, with an episode preview, Deku saying that apparently that Hawks and the League of Villains were behind the attack of the Nomu, and that Deku is going to be taking a little bit of a peek into the hidden secret of One for All and All for One. And that's been it for the first episode of My Hero Season 5. There were a lot of good, interesting. I think it was like a nice little refresher. Sort of like, it's not like a major episode, but still like something like of a refresher, because it's been a while since we've seen these characters in action. And it's like, a nice little thing to see them all back together and becoming heroes and shit like that. I assume that the episodes will get better as the show goes on. But like I said, we're just in the first episode. And if, people, they might get a little upset online, just keep in mind, like I said, I've said this before, I'm anime only. I haven't read the manga, so there's a lot that I don't know that's going on. So it's up to speculation and what I think is going to happen in my gut intuition. But do me a favor, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this in the comments section below. What you guys thought about this whole entire episode. Are you also a Froppy simp like me? Let me know in the comments section below. Make sure you guys hit that like, share, and subscribe button. I've been Samuel B, aka Excellent Anime Reviews, and I will see you all as soon as I can.